In the previous video, I showed you how to register apps and use Azure Active Directory as an identity provider for authentication in the developer portal. I will consider that a manual method, as Azure APIM service recently released an update that allows you to do all that at the click of a button. In this video, I'll be showing you how to do that with the click of a button. I'm going to click on the next tab. I already have my APIM service opened. I will scroll down to the portal overview blade. And then scroll down and click on Enabled Azure AD button. This pop-up message enables us to know the series of steps that occur before our Azure Active Directory is enabled as an identity provider in API management. Firstly, the app is registered in Azure Active Directory. Then access token and ID tokens are enabled for authentication. Then the necessary permissions are added to Microsoft Graph and Azure Active Directory Graph. Then a client secret is created, and finally Azure Active Directory identity is enabled for APIM. So I'm going to click the Enable Azure AD button. And Azure Active Directory has been successfully added as an identity provider for APIM management. I'm going to close this button. If we go over to our identities blade, we'll notice that Azure Active Directory has been added as one of the identity providers. And we can go over to the groups blade and then add Azure AD groups. Select our tenant. We still cannot add an Azure Active Directory group. It comes out with the error, unable to fetch AAD groups from Microsoft Graph. This is because our automatically created app does not have some permissions. We'll go ahead and enable those permissions so that we can add Azure AD groups. I'll go over to Azure Active Directory. Click on App Registrations. This is the app that was automatically generated. It has the same name as our APIM service. We'll go over to API permissions. Click on Add a permission. We are going to use the Azure Active Directory graph. We'll come over to Application Permissions and then click on Directory Read All. Add the permission and then grant admin consent for the 0 default directory. After this, we should be able to successfully add Azure AD groups. So we'll go back to our APIM service. Click on Groups. Click on our tenant. Can select our group. And we've been able to successfully add our Azure AD group. In conclusion, even though we can automatically enable Azure Active Directory as an identity provider, we might still need to make some minor changes in the configuration to enable it to suit our purpose. If this video helps you, kindly click on the like button and subscribe to this channel for more exciting videos.